Hey, Marcia.
Oh, jeez.
Look, Mama, you got to eat them before they eat you.
For sure.
Dolemite is my name, and f***ing up motherfuckers is my game.
These movie hustlers ruled the 1970s with gold chains, sharp suits, and no mercy. Some were based on real pimps, others became bigger than life. From Goldie's street empire to Dolemite's wild mouth, everyone had a story worth knowing. But who was the real king of the game? Number 10, Vic Cheng.
I've never loved.
Bitch. Find her.
Vic Diaz plays Victor Vic Cheng in Black Mama, White Mama, and the man owns every second of I. He isn't the kind of pimp who hides in smoky clubs or gold chains. He runs things like a businessman with a mean streak. When Lee Daniels, played by Pam Grier, steals $40,000 from him and escapes with another prisoner, Cheng turns the entire island upside down to get it back. He doesn't just send thugs, he sends soldiers, mercenaries, and anyone desperate enough to chase two women through a jungle. What makes Cheng memorable isn't just his violence, it's his calm while doing it. There's a scene where he's getting a pedicure while calmly ordering executions, like it's part of his daily routine. That mix of charm and cruelty made him stand out, even among 1970s villains. Vic Diaz, born in 1932 in the Philippines, played hundreds of villains across exploitation cinema, but Cheng was different. He wasn't cartoonish. He was ice-cold, methodical, and believable. And when his empire finally collapses in a hail of bullets, he doesn't beg or scream. He goes out watching everything burn, the same way he lived, controlled, dangerous, and unforgettable. But somewhere out there, another kind of outlaw was rewriting the rules entirely. Number 9, Sweetback.
I want you to cover for me. I'm going upstairs to the farm. To the farm? You can't hide there.
Sweetback isn't the slick, champagne-sipping type of pimp. He's raw, rough, and born out of survival. In Sweetback's badass song, Melvin Van Peebles turns him into something bigger than a hustler. He's a man dragged through the system until he decides to flip it upside down. He starts out working in a brothel, paid for sex, surrounded by women who know the game better than the men pretending to control it. When crooked cops beat a black protester nearly to death, Sweetback snaps. He takes them out and becomes public enemy number 1 overnight. Every neighborhood, every woman, every hustler he meets becomes part of his underground network. He isn't pimping for status. He's surviving through it, using his body and reputation as armor in a country that wants him erased. His sexuality turns into a weapon. His confidence becomes camouflage. He's hunted like an animal. Yet by the end, the streets whisper his name like a legend. Sweetback didn't escape to freedom. He evolved into something untouchable. And once the myth was loose, others tried to wear the crown, but few could match the kind of cold, street-smart power that came next. Number 8, Black Baron.
Go get 'em, you sweet little money-making bitch, you.
Ron Lewis, better known as the Black Baron, is a walking contradiction. In The Candy Tangerine Man, he spends his days in the suburbs, smiling with his wife and kids, blending in like any other family man. But once the sun drops, he becomes something else entirely. The ruthless pimp king of Los Angeles. No gold chains or disco flash define him. What sets him apart is control. He keeps cops, crooks, and rivals in check. And when they push too far, he eliminates them, fast. There's a scene where he takes out 2 crooked cops, Dempsey and Gordon. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't shout, doesn't look back. That's how he rules. Calm, precise, terrifying. Every woman in his circle isn't just part of his business. They're soldiers in his empire. But there's always a cost. Behind closed doors, the husband and father keeps cracking under the weight of his double life. One mistake could blow everything apart. His family, his business, his name. And that tension is what makes him dangerous. The Black Baron isn't surviving 2 worlds. He's barely holding them together. But once his mask starts to slip, another player steps in, ready to twist charm and betrayal into his own weapon. Number 7, Joe Creole.
That must have been some heavy dudes that tried to wipe the big man, huh?
Joe Creole slides into Slaughter's big ripoff like a man who owns every room he walks into. Dick Anthony Williams gives him a look. Bright suits, smooth talk, and the kind of grin that could mean anything. He isn't the top dog, but he knows how to stir things up. He deals in people, secrets, and survival, floating between Slaughter and the mob like a middleman who's always one step away from getting shot. He sells pleasure, offers favors, and trades loyalty like currency. One moment, he's helping Slaughter get information. The next, he's setting someone up for a fall. You never really know which side he's on, and that's what keeps him alive. But in this world, no one stays untouchable for long. Creole's downfall, whether he's gunned down or simply erased, reminds you what happens when charm outpaces sense. He's proof that in Blaxploitation's world of hustlers and revenge, pimps aren't always the kings. Sometimes they're the spark before the explosion. And from that explosion rises a new kind of ruler, smooth, stylish, and far more dangerous than anyone expects. Number 6, King George.
You're the lady from Jamaica who called me.
That I am,
Robert Doke's King George in Coffy is smooth, confident, and runs his business like a man who thinks he's untouchable. He's not a loud villain. He's calm, calculating, and always 2 steps ahead, or at least he believes he is. George controls a network of sex work and drugs, protected by dirty politicians and bought cops. His money gives him power, and his image sells that power perfectly. The capes, the hats, the sunglasses. Every outfit screams control and status. When Coffy shows up pretending to be Mystique, a Jamaican model looking for work, George sees opportunity, not danger. He tests her, introduces her to his girls, and thinks he's in charge of the game, but the trap is already set. Coffy uses his arrogance against him, sliding into his world with charm and fire until she tears it apart from inside. King George dies the way most men like him do. Betrayed by his own people, outplayed by someone who saw past the glamour. His fall isn't just another death scene, it's a warning. Power built on fear never lasts. And when the crown slips from his head, another pimp with more flash and more fight is already pulling up in a purple Cadillac. Number 5, Willie Dynamite.
It's okay, baby. You cool. Do what you want.
Willie Dynamite doesn't walk. He glides through Willie Dynamite like a man who believes the whole city is his runway. Roscoe Orman plays him sharp. Fur coats, diamond rings, and a Cadillac so bright it practically blinds traffic. He's all business, treating pimping like an organized corporation. 7 women, 7 income streams. He tracks numbers, enforces rules, and builds an empire out of luxury hotels and velvet clubs. But ego becomes his weakness. When other pimps propose forming a cartel to divide the city, Willie refuses. He doesn't want partners, he wants control. That choice sets off a chain reaction. Police lean harder. His girls start slipping away. Then comes Cora, a former sex worker turned social worker, who calls him out with brutal honesty. She doesn't see a businessman. She sees a man slowly digging his own grave. By the time the cops close in and his empire cracks, the man in the purple coat finally realizes how fragile his kingdom really was. He wanted freedom, but freedom in this world always costs too much. And somewhere in the same grind, another hustler is getting ready to turn that empire into a battlefield. Number 4, Mack Truck Turner.
Hey.
You know my name?
Mack Truck Turner, played by Isaac Hayes, is a bounty hunter who doesn't chase justice for glory. He does it because it's survival. When his girlfriend Annie gets locked up, his focus shifts to Gator, a pimp who jumped bail and left behind a trail of fear. Gator isn't just a street hustler, he's a sadist who tortures people for fun. Stories about him lighting a little girl's hand on fire or cutting his initials into faces make you understand why Turner won't stop until he's dead. But after Gator's gone, the chaos only grows. Dorinda, played by Nichelle Nichols, steps in to run his operation. She's smarter and meaner than most of the men around her, offering Gator's prostitutes as bounty to whoever can kill Turner. Soon Harvard Blue Yaphet Kotto joins in, turning the streets into open war. Truck moves through it all like a tank. No empire, no pimp throne, just the will to survive in a world ruled by greed and blood. And from that wreckage, the loudest, wildest, most unforgettable pimp of them all takes the stage next. Number 3, Dolemite.
Dolemite is my name, and up motherfuckers is my game.
Rudy Ray Moore didn't invent swagger, but he gave it a name, Dolemite. Long before the cameras rolled, the character came from Moore's comedy albums, filled with dirty rhymes, street stories, and wild confidence. When the film hit, Dolemite became larger than life. A pimp, poet, fighter, and neighborhood king all rolled into one. The setup is simple. He's framed by crooked cops and rivals, thrown in jail, then released to clean up his city. But the fun comes in how he does it. His women are his army, some trained in karate, others running intelligence, all loyal. Dolemite commands them like a general, mixing humor and violence, style and chaos. Every line he drops sounds half joke, half threat. He rhymes, he boasts, and somehow always gets the last word. Beneath the absurdity is a message. He's not mocking Black power. He's embodying it, loud and proud. And soon another hustler with sharper suits and colder ambition will push that dream to its breaking point. Number 2, Youngblood Priest.
This is a chance, and I want to take it. Now.
Youngblood Priest moves through Superfly like a man who's already seen the ending. He's a cocaine dealer, yes, but his world, his women, cars, and tailored suits comes straight from the pimp playbook. His control isn't through fists or threats, it's through charm, money, and the illusion of freedom he sells to everyone around him. Priest runs his crew with precision. His women aren't background. They're part of the business machine, managing clients and keeping his empire running smoothly. Every fedora, every silk shirt, every gold chain is armor. He keeps cops close enough to bribe and enemies close enough to watch fall apart. He's not chasing power anymore. He's chasing escape. But walking away from the streets you built is never clean. Every betrayal drags him deeper. Every ally becomes a threat. His women mirror his own dilemma, bound by luxury, trapped by loyalty. Priest dreams of one last score to break free, but freedom costs everything when the game owns your soul. And watching from the other side of that same dream is a man who won't settle for escape. He wants the crown. Number 1, John Goldie Mickines.
Tell the fat man, and I say go play with himself.
Goldie walks out of prison in the Mack, ready to take everything back, and more. He's not just another hustler. He's a strategist, a visionary pimp who builds an empire out of chaos. With Slim, played by Richard Pryor, at his side, he organizes his women, runs his business clean, and refuses to let drugs or outside muscle define him. Every move is about control, over the streets, the cops, and even the idea of what power looks like. He's ambitious but disciplined, ruthless but loyal. He spreads money in the neighborhood to look like a savior, even as he's carving out his throne. Oakland's real streets give the story its pulse. Actual pimps and hustlers were hired as extras, grounding Goldie's world in truth. But his empire is fragile. Cops like Hank and Jed hunt him, rivals turn violent, and every win comes with a loss. Slim's death and his mother's assault push him from confidence into vengeance. Still, Goldie never bends. He fights back until the end, claiming not just his turf, but his legend. Goldie didn't just play the game. He became the blueprint for every kingpin who followed. Thanks for watching, my friend. If you love real stories behind classic movies, hit subscribe and stay close. There's plenty more hidden history, wild facts, and forgotten legends waiting in the next video. You won't want to miss what's coming.